All right, this is a effed up take because I'm an like stupid dog. I have to take a shit. The man is passed out cold. He was researching Larry David via whatever Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm and juxtaposing it to the Jerry Seinfeld series to see wherever David was stealing from from the Jerry Seinfeld show. He wants to do his doctoral thesis on this. Okay. So, anyways, the problem is every time he does it, he thinks in order to really fine tune and really come in contact or really delve into the whole concept, he has to nip bourbon. The problem is his sips become gulps. His light drinking becomes, horking down mass quantities of bourbon, and he gets so comatose he passes out. I got to take a shit. I can't believe I can't open the door. He's got the door locked. I don't know how he locked the door from the outside. How do you lock the door? What, do you crawl through a window? How do you lock the door from the outside? I got my apparatus on the... Anyways, I got to take this vicious shit. I can't take a shit. I will not shit in the house. I will not puke, piss, or shit in this house. This is a manor house. You don't do that kind of, maybe you go in the foyer or the foyer, whatever you call it, the vestibule, the mudroom. On tile maybe I would take a shit or a piss or vomit, whatever. I'm not going to shit on these hardwood floors and this carpet. Some of these carpets were bequeathed to the man's ancestral heritage by Native American Indians, no less. How am I going to just take a dump on... So my belly hurts, I got cramps, I have to take a vicious shit. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pass the time or distract myself from my vicious, horrible, cramping shit pains by watching podcasts. I'm watching Theo, whoever his name is, interviewing, I forget his name. So it's the guy with the mullet interviewing, a.k.a. Fatty Arbuckle. Shane Gillis and Theo somebody, or Thonon, I don't even know what this guy's name is. Basically, it's the guy with the mullet interviewing the guy who I thought was Fatty Arbuckle. The more I look at him, it's Brutus from Popeye. This kid looks like Brutus's younger, more successful brother. He's got the same, oval-esque body, little BB head, big, it's like semi-hunchback, rounded shoulders, big person, you know what I'm saying? But with the BB head, the off-putting BB head, the semi-comb-over, you have bang comb-over. Why are these comedians? There's two things I'm going to say about these comedians. The second one's coming up. The first one is their hairstyles. If they have good hair, they don't know how to hairstyle it. If they have bad hair, it's weird. It's like... He's got, Shane Gillis has got that long bang comb over. He's got a comb over working for himself, but he's got a big glob of bangs. Like, when David Letterman was trying to fool everybody and he left that clam of bangs hanging in front of his hair recession. And Theo, whatever his name is, he's sporting the mullet. And the two of them, I got to say, guys, I got a tip for you. Listen, Theo. That mullet, you can't dress that mullet up. Sometimes you're sporting the semi-mullet, the quasi-mullet. You're trying to, disguise the mullet, but it's still underneath his mullet. Mullet and comb over, guys, you don't need to go down these routes because you're successful. You don't understand. Success and talent is good looking. So, Shane, you're like a 3.5. Theo, with that Joe Frazier nose, with that Kris Kringle semi-Frazier, Joe Frazier nose, you're like... you're a 4.5, a 3.5, 4. When you factor in your talent, you each are going around a 6 to a 7. When you factor in your success, you're solid on 8s, high 8s. 8.7. You go a long way with an 8.7. See what I'm saying? It's like a, I don't know what you call it, like a 3.78 cum. But cut it out with the hairstyles. Those hairstyles are wretched. And you boys are fabulous. You're talented. You're successful. That adds 3, 4, 5 points to your look. So you need to stop. The other thing you need to stop talking about your fucking depression. No one wants to hear that bullshit. Listen, depression is like a toothache. It's like a leg injury, Yeah, you can talk about your fucking leg injury. An alligator, a bear comes up and bites you, chomps your fucking knee. You're like, holy shit, this fucking alligator bit off half my calf. I'm dying. I got a carotid artery busted out of I got the femoral artery. I'm bleeding out of here. Yeah, can talk about then. A little while after, when they sew you up, you're fixed up, you're all healed up, no one wants to hear about your alligator scar or your bear injury, okay? You don't sit around saying, oh my God, a few weeks ago, a few months ago, last year, 2-3 years ago, I had the worst sinus infection. It was as if I needed Excedrin PM just to try to blunt it. No one wants to hear. No one wants to hear about your toothache from 3 years ago. When you're depressed, you can talk about your depression. Once you're no longer depressed, you don't need to bring it up. No one wants to hear that bullshit. That's the key. If you're depressed, it's like a medical emergency. You're like a guy laying on the side of the road from a car accident. Oh my God, my rib's sticking out my lung. Yeah, we want to help you. We care. 2 years later, no one wants to hear about the car wreck you were in. Nobody. No one wants to hear about your depression when you're not depressed. We care about it if you're depressed. So that's two things those boys got to stop. Stop talking about, stop trying to do some weird hairstyles to try to then realize you're so much more handsome because you factor in the success and the talent. People who are talented, they get a pass. They're more alluring. They look better. And people who are depressed, they deserve our attention, our help. It's like, helping a wounded soldier, an injured football player off the field. Two guys get on each side of him. We're going to help the depressed guy. When you're no longer depressed and you talk about your depression, that's bullshit. Whatever.